Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is doing well. Y'all had a good Sunday. I hope it's been a good one for everyone. Hello, my Millie. I love you so much. And Blue Eyes. Hello, my friend. Hey, Cotton Candy 65. Thanks for being here. We got Tennessee in the house. Hey, my friend. Hey, Trishy. Thanks for coming in with us and just me. There's our Bright. I've been wondering how you're doing. I hope all is well. And there's our Smiley. Love you so much, Smiley. Still praying for you and your mom, your whole family. Y'all keep her in your prayers, okay? And then let's see who else we got up in here. And that's it. It's all that's wanting to chat with us. Hey, Feel the Love. Thanks for coming in, being with us today. Goodness. Look, guys, I got makeup on. I did something to my hair today. I thought I had tortured y'all enough. But oh, no thanks needed, Smiley. I'm always here if you need me. Just a phone call away. I love you, and if you need anything, I'm always there for you. Oh, Millie, you're so sweet. Hey, Debbie. Thanks for coming in with us. So, anyways, I was sitting here looking and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's just my camera view, but all of this is like my dark with lots of gray mixed into it. And this down here hasn't got any gray to it yet. And it's a big difference. I was like, oh, Lord. Oh, well, it is what it is. Hey, just me. Thank you. You're so sweet. Well, I hope you all watched the video about summer yesterday that we did. Wait, what? Bright, you're moving out of Texas? Oh. Oh, man. Where are y'all moving to? Are you going to be far away? We didn't even get a chance to meet up. Y'all, being in Texas, you just don't meet up. You got to plan it. You got to have a couple of tanks of gas. Hey, D for me. Hello. Welcome. New Mexico. Okay. That's not too far. I want to go back over there one day, so I'll keep that in mind next time I head west. Well, y'all be careful moving. I hope everything goes well for y'all. But we did summer yesterday. We talked about all the possibilities of her being payment for a drug debt. And today we're going to talk about Sebastian. I was going to do another one on summer, but last night I was trying to go to sleep and I was listening to Allegedly with Brittany J. And in there, she had somebody send her a little video clip. And I was like, oh my gosh, all right, I'm going to play this. And I saw a while ago, Justin was going over it as well. So y'all might have already oh, Tennessee, no, you're not. You're staying where you're at. It's so pretty in Tennessee. But y'all might have already seen it or whatever, but we're going to play it. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Y'all, there's some shady stuff going on over in that house. I don't know what happened that night on the 25th into the 26th that morning. Hey, OG Nanny, thanks for coming in. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, just don't go missing in Tennessee. That's right. Oh, Lord. So, anyways, Heidi, hey. Well, I'm glad you came in and said hello to us. Welcome to the channel. And anytime you want to chat, we're here. You're welcome to. Luminous, hey, how you doing, sweetie? But something really happened. We know Sebastian's gone. We know that there's no scent of him walking away, especially him being barefooted. And so he had to have left the house some different way. And I have, okay, bye, Smiley, love you. I have always thought the mother, the stepfather, their reactions, their comments, the lives they've done is just, I don't want to say normal because there is no normal when you lose a child. I can't imagine losing a child and not knowing where that child is. That's got to be excruciating. But yet, the stepfather doesn't seem to be worried. The mother doesn't seem to be worried. They're not helping looking for him. They have gone on vacations. We heard last night that they went on a vacation up to Oregon. Hey, I'm too honest. Thanks for coming in with us. So yeah, if they went on vacation all the way to Oregon, while everybody is back at Hendersonville searching, putting out flyers, that speaks huge, huge volume. I mean, that is like, oh my gosh, crazy. Oh no. Oh, Auntie, I'm so sorry to hear about Miss Ann. And Matthew's not been in here, so I don't know. Hey, Pearl girl. Y'all keep Miss Ann in your prayers. But to lose a child and report him as walking out of the house, leaving the house, running away. That's how he was reported. That was the way they put it to the sheriff's department when they did their three-way call. Victoria, hey, good to see you in here. I got you, Cotton Candy. I got you. But for them to be okay, knowing that he walked out of the house. If he walked out, he very well could walk back. And yet they've left several times. The father has said just recently, told Dog and Nick both on a phone call that they would never, ever, ever find Sebastian. So what the heck with the the little comments like this? There's no concern that he might come back. It's as if they know exactly where he's at and he's not coming back. But all that's speculation. We can't say 100% that's the way it is. It's just there's no way we can do that. All we can do is say, from the way the parents are acting, all of the trying to threaten volunteers, the search people that helped find Raleigh Strain, they were ran out. They were threatened. They left because of the threats against the volunteers. Yeah, I'll get you to come up here in just a second. I will. I'll put the link down here in just a minute. Hey, Christy, thanks for coming in here. Yeah, no one has confirmed that. It's what I heard. We do know that they have been to Mississippi several times. They've been to Louisiana. We know those things. Those are confirmed. The Oregon trip, just heard about it last night. But my whole point with all of that is, if their child just walked out the door and left, then he was on his own free will to walk out, to go. There was nothing bad happening to him. There was nothing that showed or proved that he had been harmed. So he just left, walked away. According to what they're saying, Sebastian walked away and just disappeared somewhere. But there is no proof of that. There is no camera footage of that. And their whole front part of their house has neighbor cameras pointing to it, even the backside. So all of those cameras do not show Sebastian walking out and leaving that house on his own. And I don't know if y'all have heard on Cluminati's channel, but CP will call in disguising himself as different characters. One time he was from Texas. One time he talked like Sling Blade. Another time he was just trying to be some schmo, just calling random. So what's with all these games? What's with all of the threats that are being put out? Why are they putting this suit, filing charges against Bullhorn Betty? Is it just because she's looking? Just because she's putting stuff out for Sebastian? It just makes you wonder. And in my opinion, my thoughts, and from my experience, okay, Pearl Girl. Hey, Roxy Stone. I see these two people that have no concern, no cares in the world. It's as if they know exactly what happened. And that's why I'm going to say, I feel like that. I feel like they know exactly where he is. Hey, Roxy Stone, there is a lot of fishy stuff with that RV too. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that. Cotton Candy, yes. Seth has said things that were not appropriate. I'm not saying he hasn't, and I'm not saying Seth was off the charts wrong. I mean, perfect. None of that. Hey, Princess Jasmine. Welcome, y'all. Okay, so what I'm about to play, I want you to remember on day 1, Seth got in the car with Chris. They went driving around looking. And this is what Seth has said his conversation with Chris that day and what Chris had to say. So it's not the best recording. I was laying in bed, half asleep, half awake, but I was wanting to screen record it. It's from Allegedly with Brittany J. It's on her channel last night. She played it. So credit to her. We're just going to play a short little clip here. So this is on what is it? Crimes Obsessed channel, I think is Crimes Obsessed. Let me look real quick. I got it written down. But this is where he had a conversation on her channel, and it was back in May 2nd of this year, just shortly after Sebastian had gone missing. Crime Stories Obsessed. That's what it is. So this is just a tiny clip. I suggest y'all go.
Back, hey, Sarah. Hey, Melissa. Oh, he's jumping. My whole computer's shaking. So for everybody that might have missed it, listen again. I'm gonna play it again. He's talking about CP, and he said, here we go. This is what he's saying Chris Prophet told him. Reality, I'm so glad you clipped this. I have not seen this.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I could tell you things that he told to me. Like on the first day, he looked at me and, he hadn't even been back for like 2 hours or 3 hours. And he looked at me, what are you going to do if this goes south? And I looked at him, I said, what are you talking about if I go south? What are you going to do if he's dead? And like, I'm going to walk out of this house because if I do anything else, they'll put me in handcuffs right now. And,
wait again.
Oh my God.
Justin
I can tell you things that he told to me. Like,
did y'all hear that? What are you going to do if this thing goes south? Seth said, well, what do you mean? I'm going to go south. Basically, to look for his child. And then Chris said, what if he's dead? Day 1. Just a couple of hours after Chris came back from Memphis and got there. Not 24 hours later, not 48, 72 hours later. Just hours after Sebastian is missing, Chris mentions, what if he's dead? Why would a stepfather even begin to say that? And I had never heard that clip. I had never heard that conversation. He does say in there that there is a lot of things that Chris has said that has put up a red flag to him. But this is the one that just made my stomach turn. It's almost like from the very start, the very beginning, before the phone call to the sheriff's. Yes, Amy Lynn, CP and KP know exactly where Sebastian is. in my opinion. Hey, Luca. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Maybe to see his reaction. I don't know. But oh my gosh, to even mention that. This is my first question. Why would he say that if Sebastian just walked out the door and was running away from home? That's how they reported it. Just hours before, him and Seth went riding around and had this conversation. Why are you going to bring up the possibility of Sebastian being dead if you're saying this child walked out that door and left? That is so wrong on so many levels in my eyes. Because if you're expecting him to be that runaway, just going out that door, taking off, he was mad about something, he was going to whatever. If that's your story and you're sticking with that, why would he be dead? What would cause that child to be dead if he was just walking away? Hey, well, wait, what? That's like a tongue twister to me. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, guys, if you're saying he walked away, why is it that just hours after reporting him as a runaway, are you going to bring up the fact that he might be dead? Are you preparing Seth? Is that his way of preparing him? We know in Chris's words, we've all pretty much heard it, where he's on the channel doing this, interview with people and stuff. And he says this will be a case that people talk about for a very, very long time. And if he actually told Dog and Nick the Hat on a phone conversation just a couple of days back that they would never, ever, ever find Sebastian, how are we supposed to not think that they have no clue where he's at? How are we even supposed to be open and receptive to all of it, all the things, when we have the mother and the stepfather, and the stepfather is like Jody Sue Brown, continuing to open his mouth a little too much, continuing to bring distractions with people that want to search, continuing to throw off the search patterns, the directions. It's no different. He is the JSB of this case. Yeah, sounds like Dawn and Candace as well. And guys, I am open to anything. I am completely open to anything. But my number one focus is Sebastian. That's the side I'm on, his side. That's where my main focus is at. Yeah, blue eyes. Blue Eyes Jewel was up talking to everybody and telling them what he had said, and he told her the exact same thing. Sebastian would never be found. Yes, Ginger Bell. Every parent always holds on to hope. Who says that? But Chris P. Yeah. Yes, Cotton Candy. I think he is messing with everybody. How are we supposed to believe anything from them two? While we wait, yes. The number one fact remains. Sebastian is still missing. And I honestly believe that the FBI would not put out a reward of any kind if they honestly believed and evidence pointed to the fact that Sebastian was a runaway. Kids run away all the time. There's not rewards. And yes, he does have he's got a disability and autism. It seems they're so intelligent and so very smart that the common sense side of them is almost non-existent with a lot of them. So everyday common sense things would be a hard thing for them to do out there on their own. Okay, Millie. He's a control freak, yes. Now, the socks are neck deep in this as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If Chris is in it, his family's in it. That's what I say. Yes, yes, yes. You think it was premeditated? Wait, what? I kind of go back and forth. Was it premeditated? Was it just a split decision right then, right there? I don't know. Exactly, Victoria. Yeah, there are a lot of people that have said things about Seth that, he's made some pretty rude comments, some sexist type of comments towards women or about women. But that doesn't mean that he took Sebastian. And he was at work. They have a copy of his clock in. He was at work. It has been verified. And, I can't fault him. They have had his phone, his computer, his tablets, all the things. And if there was anything on there of him having any type of contact with someone about taking Sebastian, they would already have him locked up, I believe. But really can't say for sure 100%. But Seth doesn't give us those things, those vibes, those stupid call-ins. He doesn't sit there and pretend like he's somebody from somewhere else. Probably everything's falling, guys. Sorry. But hey Megan. Oh, Megan, is it Megan? Get it right. Hi, Mary and Joni. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. But Seth doesn't give us anything negative towards Sebastian. He doesn't talk to us about all of Sebastian's flaws. He tells us how his time is with Sebastian, what they do, how they do things, and it's not all negative. Blue Eyes, you think the FBI has what they need, and that's why they've offered the award. Very well could it be. They may already have all they need. I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Mm-mm. You know, it's possible. Anything's possible. I just get so aggravated when you voice your opinion against the Proudfoots and you get attacked by people who are on their side. Gotcha, Blue Eyes. Oh, that would be something. I don't know. I had never thought of that. I just know that my experience losing my son, the feeling, the emotions, all those things, they don't just go away. And Blue Eyes, didn't he say to you that the police had kind of prepared them for Sebastian not being alive? For them to kind of get used to that idea. If that's the case, and his mother is through grieving, that's wrong. You never get over it, Cotton Candy. Never. Never, ever. Hey, Lolo. And, you know, if they have in their mind that this child is unalived, not with us anymore, and they've gone through the grieving process, and it's only been so many months, I will say this. They're probably grieving for themselves and not Sebastian. Yes, Brat. Losing a child leaves a hole in your heart that can never, ever be mended. And that loss of that child that you lose, and you can never, ever touch, see them, smell them, embrace them, hold them, laugh with them. Nothing. It will destroy you as a mother. And it will take a long time to come back from that. I grieved for 2 solid years. Hey, Smiling Sleuth. 2 solid years, guys. I stayed in bed. Could care less. Of course, quarantine from the big C had hit us. My life had fell apart. I didn't even grieve the loss of my marriage. I didn't grieve over the people we were losing from that virus. I didn't grieve over the fact that I was now in my 4-bedroom home all by myself. I didn't grieve all that. I grieved the fact that my child was no longer with me. How was I supposed to go on? What was I supposed to tell people that I meet for the first time? Am I a mother of 3? Or am I only a mother of 2 now? Those questions would make me sick to my stomach. I wouldn't want to go to the grocery store because I didn't want to see nobody. Of course, I live in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. You don't run into the grocery store and just grab a loaf of bread, because you're going to be talking to 2 or 3 people at least. And I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I did not go to the grocery store because I didn't want to see people. If I couldn't see my son, I didn't want to see people. I had 4 grandbabies. I had 2 other children and their spouses. I would go around them and I would smile. I would laugh at the kids. But they have since all told me that they could see that I was not there. I was just blank in my eyes. Yeah, it is a hard thing to go through. And I'm sorry, but a couple of months just doesn't cut it. And in my opinion, seeing them in the courtroom that day, and they both looked swollen. And I'm not trying to make fun of them. Don't get me wrong, please. Don't get me wrong on that. But they had put on weight. They looked swollen. They looked inactive. But the swollen and puffiness to the both of their faces. My first instant thought was, are they trying to drink enough to forget? I don't know. But I do know that as a mother who has lost a child, and I've said this before, a lot of y'all have already heard this, I refused to allow myself to have the first drink. Because if I could have drank enough to forget the hurt, forget the emptiness, forget all that I was going through, I may never, ever have stopped drinking. And I was terrified of that. And I'm not saying all this to make y'all sad for me. I'm saying all this because I see that sign, that part of the drinking that can puff you up on those 2 parents. I may be wrong on that. but that's what I see. And all of the emotional part of losing a child is what I do not see. I see these two people who one day had a child in their home, woke up the next day, there is no child in their home. We've seen the videos, the pictures. There's searching going on, vigils going on, all of those things happening, flyers being put out. But Christopher said, they're not going to a vigil. Those are for somebody who's no longer alive. But yet he had a conversation with Seth the day Sebastian went missing, asking him, what's he going to do if Sebastian is dead? There's never been anything positive that's ever came out of his mouth. Not even too much of his mother's mouth as well. When it came to Sebastian and talking about him, we hear all the negative. He likes to get up in people's bubble, too close to their personal space. His cleaning the room is not my cleaning the room. If you call his way of dancing, then okay. You know, I mean, look at that smile. I bet every one of you on here can agree 100% that that smile on that face in every picture we see of him is precious. That smile. The drive he has for animals. But with all due respect, Lolly, we don't know how they are behind closed doors. We have to look at everything. People hide their grief in public. And that's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying. We don't see it at all. But they don't have a hard time joking and laughing and playing around with phone calls. Just like Dawn and Candace. You know, it's all the same. And I do see people here in this case that have supported the Wells, but yet they don't support Chris and Katie. Or there's those on Summer's case where all they've done is talk trash about the parents, Dawn and Candace. They would tear them up and destroy them with their words. I mean, big time. But they support Chris and Katie. But we all have to remember one thing, one fact. These children are still missing. They're still missing. That's the fact. Everything in Summer's case that we know about surrounding that time is the mother's version of what happened. The only thing we know over here in Sebastian's case and everything we've heard about the time surrounding his disappearance came from the mother. Hey, Whistle. Tam. We get these stories from the person that was last with these two children. His mother was home with him. According to her story, when he disappeared. She didn't hear nothing. She didn't know anything. He just disappeared out of that house. Same thing with Candace. Her version of the story is within 2 minutes of her fixing her mom's brace on her knee, going back to the house, calling Summer. 2 minutes. Summer's gone. But we don't know if the parents had anything to do with it. We don't know if Katie and Chris had anything to do with Sebastian not being here. All we have is their words, their version. They're changing stories. Hey, TJ. Thanks for being here, my friend. Their story, their words. That's all we have. And they're not doing themselves any favors by speaking. They're not doing themselves any favors by letting the stepfather do all the talking. Ziva, get down. Get down. Thank you. Good girl. Sorry. She was sitting over here and she was breathing heavy. She'd been playing. My laptop started shaking. But, guys, it's a hard thing to talk about all the time. And if you sat down like what Justin did, I think it was last night or maybe this morning, this afternoon, I don't know. He sat down, had everybody tell all the red flags with what Katie and Chris have done or said. All the red flags with Seth. The only thing I ever hear from everybody about Seth is the smart comments he makes that are rude, not appropriate. But that doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian. I don't know how you're working for a government job. There are cameras everywhere. Trust me. I just got through working for the county. It's a government job. They have cameras on the side of the door thing as you walk into the restroom and when you walk out. They're everywhere. Yeah, Lolo. She said, oh my God, if Seth isn't appropriate, then CP is way out of line. I mean, that's all I'm hearing negative when it comes to Seth, though. And nobody's given me any definite thing. You know, he started talking, or there was all this talk about him going to take a nap in his car. Don't you know there would be cameras where his car's parked at? They would be able to see that. If he went and took a nap in his car, they had his phone. They would have been able to trace whether he was out there making phone calls or text messages or whatever, and they would know if his car ever left. They have all that footage. He's been accounted for. Yes. Yeah, Jennifer. Seth has searched. He has gone out and searched. I saw Katie cry one time. We all saw pretty much everybody I think has seen where she's rocking back and forth and she's crying and she's rubbing her hands together and rubbing her jeans, and she just, that's it. That's the emotion. But we've also not heard a whole lot from her unless Chris is not where he's not right there with her. She doesn't come out and talk by herself. She won't even talk to Seth. To this day, that woman has not talked to Sebastian's father. And I don't care if you have a bad, horrible divorce. When there is a tragedy such as losing a child, not knowing where that child is, all of that bad goes away. Or it should. But it doesn't seem to be the case in this with Sebastian, because her sweet husband is not allowing, from what I'm hearing, allegedly, he does not allow her to talk to Seth. And if she talks to Seth, he will be there. Well, I mean, Sebastian was here because of the two of them. It took both of them to make Sebastian. They're all grown-ups. If you can't allow your wife to speak to the father of her child in a time of crisis like this, people, that says a lot about you as a person. There's a lot of mistrust. It says a lot. Because Katie was the last person in the home with Sebastian. So what is so important that she not say that Seth, he can't speak to her unless Chris is there? That is such a huge, huge red flag to me. Huge. And guys, trust me, my husband and I were going through a divorce when we lost our son. We spent that week arm in arm, hand in hand, right beside each other. That was our child. Nobody else in that room knew the grief that he and I were feeling except for each other. It's your child, Katie. It's Seth's child. Seth deserves to hear from you. TJ, that's what we're hearing. I haven't seen it where it's confirmed though, but that's the talk. She doesn't want to speak to him. Why force someone to speak to their abuser? Well, he's the father of her child. He has questions. He wants to know. He's not going to beat her up. He's too broken right now to even think about that. I've never heard where he physically abused her. I don't see anything about that. I don't know. And I understand if you have a past. I get it. They got a divorce for a reason. They didn't just get a divorce because they wanted to go play house somewhere else. I mean, there are reasons behind that. And that's what I'm saying. When it comes to something as bad as losing your child, all of the bad should go out the window. Because it's not about what happened and what you did to me or what I did to you or anything like that. It's about Sebastian. And Katie and Chris cannot seem to focus on the fact that everything about this case is about Sebastian. Not about how Chris feels. Not about what Chris wants. Not about Katie. Not about Seth. It's about Sebastian. And when you have those leading roles in this case that can't get that all the way soaked into their brain and be adult enough to come together for Sebastian, how is this group here supposed to come together for Sebastian? How is it that we're all supposed to get along when both sides are clashing? And what gives Chris the right to speak the way he does to Seth? I understand they have different viewpoints. That's fine. Me and Millie, we could sit here, have a whole conversation, but we could both believe something different on the situation. We can have that conversation because we're adults, and that's the way it really should be. And Millie wouldn't shove her opinion down my throat. I would explain how I felt and why I feel the way I'm feeling. And Millie would accept that. But it doesn't mean she has to go along with me. But we YouTubers here can't get along. Nobody's going to agree. And it all goes back to the parents, their actions, their division, their words. That's all we have. We can't sit here and say 100% don't even need proof. This is how it is. We can't do that. But if I sit here and say, hey guys, do y'all remember when this was said? He said this out of his own mouth. She said this out of her own mouth. I can use that as, yeah, that's what she said. Her words, his words. And the things that have been said, the actions that have happened, sadly, has caused a division here amongst us. Because at the end of the day, every day, there's one true fact. And that's the fact that Sebastian's gone. He is missing. Sebastian is over here somewhere, and we're all over here fighting sides with the parents. Hey guys, everybody that's just coming in, hello, welcome. Love y'all so much. Hey, thanks for being here. But to hear on day one, just a few hours after Sebastian was reported missing, just hours, Chris is going to tell Seth, what if this thing goes south? Seth's reaction, well, I'm going south, I guess. And Chris says, what if he's dead? What are you going to do? This is the man whose words on the phone on a 3-way call with the sheriff's department said he ran away. And yet he's going to think and try to prepare the dad for the fact that the child may be not with us anymore. What was the purpose? Why were those words so important to say right then? Why do you have to destroy the hope of his father? You know, it's sad because here we are sitting here. Everybody's having conversations in chat. There's those sitting in the bushes, not in the conversations. And I don't know who's believing me, who's cussing me right now. I don't know how y'all feel exactly 100%. But guys, this is how I feel. This is what I see. I just took a break for a week and a half away from YouTube. I would go in, I would listen, keep updated with things. But I didn't even come on here and talk because I was so discouraged. You got the clip channels out there, and they're all on Chris's side, Katie's side. So they're going to destroy anybody that might be supporting the father. And it's sick. It is so sick We have this 15-year-old boy, this child, who has this smile that is just amazing. Look at that smile, guys. He's just happy. He's just a happy kid. And to stop and think about all the crap and all the drama that keeps getting brought up and the hate that keeps getting pushed around. While he's still missing, he has not been found. We can't come together because of the line that's divided between the parents. Here's this child, 15 years old. Where the heck is he? Is he smiling right now? Is he happy right now? Has he had any medication to help him cope? There's so many other things that are way more important that should be discussed, guys. But sadly, the very first day that he's missing, this is what was discussed.
For those in the back,
Yeah.
hey Sarah, hey Melissa. Oh, he's jumping. My whole computer's shaking. So for everybody that might have missed it, listen again. I'm gonna play it again. He's talking about CP, and he said, here we go. This is what he's saying Chris Prophet told him. Reality, I'm so glad you clipped this. I have not seen this.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, I could tell you things that he told to me. Like on the first day, he looked at me and, you know, he hadn't even been back for like 2 hours or 3 hours. And he looked at me, what are you going to do if this goes south? And I looked at him, I said, what are you talking about if I go south? What are you going to do if he's dead? And like, I'm going to walk out of this house because if I do anything else, they'll put me in handcuffs right now.
Say it again.
Oh my God.
Justin
I could
just
tell you things that he told to me. Like,
What was the purpose
Buddy.
of that? I don't understand. Sebastian's missing for just a few hours. What are you going to do if he's dead? I mean, how are we supposed to take that? How are we supposed to hear that and not think, oh my God, how hateful is that? I mean, does he hate Seth so much that he felt the need to dig into his wound just a little bit, pour some salt on it? I don't know. Yes, K-Mac, according to Seth. Yeah. Oh, wait, not that one. This one right here. According to Seth, the family, that morning after Sebastian was reported to law enforcement that he had ran away, the family was sitting around, CP's family that was there, talking about a vacation and jewelry. You know, the very next morning on Facebook, Justin had just said this last night, that Chris's sister made a post. Sebastian left the house wearing his glasses, which is weird. I mean, he probably needed his glasses to see. So yeah, he would be wearing his glasses and no shoes, and had a little flashlight, a little keychain flashlight. Made it a point to say that he was wearing his glasses. You know, oh really, TJ? One of Chris's sisters made a post saying that. If you haven't listened to Bullhorn Betty in her interview with Katie's mom's cousin, which would be Katie's second cousin, listen to that. Listen to that. This case, it happened back in February. Back in February. Here we are, fixing to start the winter all over again. And there is not a single word of what has happened to Sebastian. Yes, Robin, she had Katie's cousin, her mom's cousin, had to disconnect her Facebook account because of all of the hate and the bullies. You know, before Betty was through with her interview with her, which kudos to Betty, she let her say what needed to be said. She didn't lead her. She asked her if there was anything else that she could think of that she would want to say. She was very respectful. But hate being spewed all over the chat while this woman is spilling her guts. Her heart's broken. Her heart's broken for Sebastian. And because it's not broken for Katie, she's getting all the hate. It's absolutely sickening to know that we're going to stay on this case. We're going to keep talking about it. We're going to continue to push. We're going to do whatever we can. And that means we have to make that choice. Do we continue and battle against all the negative? And if we choose to battle the negative, we will be distracted. Because nobody can sit here and tell me that if you're over here battling against some trolls, clipped your channel, only pieces of it, puts it out there, you make fun of it, you talk about it, you ridicule, you tear it down to every syllable. Okay, I'm going to want to come back at them. That's human nature. You don't want people thinking you're a bad person like that. But if I take my time to do that, I've allowed those people to distract me away from Sebastian. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way, because I was being clipped. I was getting just pieces of what I said to make it sound horrible. And I was coming back. And I'm like, halfway through talking about it on here on a live, all I could do was think about, this doesn't help Sebastian. Just like Chris saying that to Seth, it doesn't help Sebastian. For him to say that and hurt his father, it doesn't help Sebastian, because Sebastian is still missing. I'm not going to play games with the trolls. I'm not going to play into that world that they're creating over there. And I'm not trying to be ugly, but I don't want to deal with distractions. And if we can't sit here and do all this research and studying and go back and listen and start pulling some things around and put a little pressure out there, make some people a little nervous. If that's not what we're going to do to help us get to that place of finding Sebastian, so that Sebastian can come home and be with his father, or his father will finally have a place to go sit and talk to his son. I'm assuming his mom and his stepfather will just be on vacation or motorcycle shopping, and they wouldn't probably take the time to go sit and spend time alone with him. But that's my feelings and my opinions. And it's all based on their words. Their words that they have said. Seth is hurting Katie. How is Seth hurting Katie? I don't understand how Seth is hurting Katie. Now, if that's something that happened years ago, I'm not going to go into that. And Audacity, what I'm talking about is when there is a huge event like a child missing, all of what happened in the past should be pushed away. But it's not. A lot of people say Seth is still in love with her. You know, all the lies and false information he's put out about her. Like what? What has he said about her? That's what I want to know. I don't know how Seth feels, if he's in love with her or not. There will probably always be a special place in his heart for her. She's the mother of his child. The hate campaign he put out on her from day one. I didn't mention the rest. Okay, but day one, what hate did he put out on her? That's what I'm trying to find out. I just keep hearing vague stuff, but I'm not hearing what were his words. That's my thing. Me talking negative about Katie and Chris, yes, I am. And it's because of their words that they said. Seth, all I know is I've had people tell me he's made some pretty rude comments. Yeah. I don't know, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, I mean, don't just tell me this is what happened. Give me something. Literally everything that is out was crap. Seth. Wait, where is it? Literally everything that is out was crap. Seth had put out about them, all the rumors. He fed the things to Donna Serafina and Sweetie Pilo. He fed the lies to the creators. Audacity, if I'm not mistaken, the time that she went into the military and the time Chris went into the military coincided with the time that Katie and Seth were married. But I don't have that proof, and I cannot give that to you as a fact. The affair with the neighbor, okay? There is no proof she had an affair with the neighbor. It was out there. It was talked about. And the thing is, Seth didn't say that. There's a neighbor that said that. You know, yeah, Holly, they're all innocent at this moment. They are. No proof. No proof that Seth put it out there. That's what I'm saying. I can say what I feel about Katie and Chris, and it has to do with the words that they said. But you know what? It's not up to me to make the decision on who's guilty or who's not. All I can do is go according to what is put out by each person. In the recording we just heard, if Seth is saying the truth, and Chris brought up the fact that Sebastian may be dead when all he did was run away, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Just like Katie's story did not make sense. Every time she would do a live, the very first live, she tells a vague story about what happened. Everybody's like, okay, she didn't go check on him. She don't even know. Maybe he was taken early that night or whatever, you know, and everybody's starting to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it some more. Katie comes on and does the next one. Well, she adds to it so that there's proof Sebastian was alive because Katie said he answered her. Well, then everybody's like, okay, he answered her, but she still didn't get up and go in there. That wasn't much of an answer. All that kept getting put out there. The next time she goes live, what happens? She has a whole conversation with Sebastian. A whole conversation. Her story adapted according to what was being put out there. She had to make her story believable. Because, see, if she was telling the truth from the very beginning, that truth would have never changed. The truth does not change. The lies are the ones that keep growing and adapting. It's lies that you keep adding to, not the truth. Every once in a while, you might say, oh yeah, hey, I forgot this part. But not every time you come on. 3 or 4 times in a row. So that I can talk about. That makes me nervous. That makes me very uncomfortable. That's what I can say. You know, we've had Nina talk and tell her version of what happened. We've had Uncle Taco and his wife talk. And we've heard their versions. But Katie was the only one in that home, supposedly the only one, when Sebastian went missing. Not everybody else. Just Katie. Her words. She went to bed. Sebastian was supposedly in his bed. Nobody else in the house. And he came up missing. But according to her, and according to Chris, Sebastian ran away. And she said, I can't believe he went out that front door. I can't believe he went out that door, is what she said, not the front. But she was insinuating the front door. Well, there's cameras on that door. Chris's words himself. No, somebody did not come up to this house to get him. Because they would have been seen on the cameras in the neighborhood. So no, Sebastian did not walk out of that door and not be seen on camera. Those are the things, their words, her words. She's the only one that was there when whatever happened, happened. And I do not see a child have a fun day like she described to us that Sebastian had and just decide to walk away, walk out, go, gone, never to be seen again. Something happened. But those are the words that are not being said. We've heard all these things that have been said, by Sebastian's father, his mother, his stepfather, the neighbors, and so on and so on. All these words, the sentences, the paragraphs, the stories that are being told, all those words, but not one single detail about when they came home that night. When they came home, supposedly 6:30-ish. Her and Chris don't get on the phone till almost 9:30, 9:45-ish. That's several hours, but there's no details on those hours. She tells him about 9 o'clock, it's time to go to bed. No details. Did he take a shower? Did he not take a shower? Did he brush his teeth or not brush his teeth? Had he already had his pajamas on? Or does he just sleep in his tidy whities? No details. None. Why is it that we know they had a fun breakfast with spaghetti pancakes? She even told us how to look those up. We know the size of his popcorn. We know details until they get home. And there are very few details. And the details we do know changed over time. What happened in that house that night? Something had to have happened. Something had to have happened for this very happy boy with this smile, who has an attitude like every teenage boy does, every teenage girl. Guys, was he smiling when he left the house? Was this child happy when he left the house? Was he awake when he left that house? Was he confused? There's questions. There's really hard questions that need answered. And I'm not going to play a drama game. I'm going to concentrate on these questions. I'm going to concentrate on that timeline from when they got home around 6:30 that evening till 6:03 the next morning when law enforcement was called. That's where we should be concentrating. That's what should be having our attention. That is what we should find out. But there's no details. None. And it's sad because Sebastian is still missing. He's not here any longer. He's not here. He's not there. Where is Sebastian? And how did he get where he is? Who helped him? Who made him? Who forced him to go? And why? Why is it that Sebastian's gone? A happy child who had a super fun day eating colossal popcorn, sampling the samples as you go to Sam's, all those things, all the things he loved. Was that planned as a last hurrah? I pray that FBI stays on this case hard. I've said it with Summer's case last night, and I'll say it tonight. Those parents need to be grilled. Those parents need pressure. Especially the mother. Because all we have to go by is her story. Her version, her story, whether it is the God's honest truth, an outright lie, or a little bit of both. We don't know because it's just her. No one else is there to witness any of this stuff when they got home, according to her. All we know is what she's told us. And there's very little details on the most important parts. So let's stay together, guys. Let's stay strong as a unit for Sebastian. And if Audacity wants to be negative on Seth's side, that's totally okay. But show me some proof. I can't go against Seth because you told me. We got to have some facts. And all we have to go off of is their words. Audacity, he may have just left. That's what I said. It may come down to it, and the parents may not be guilty at all. I'll be the first in line to apologize. But their words are not helping them. There's no, the one fact in this story is Sebastian is gone. That's the fact. And that's what I don't understand. Hey, Cow Gal. Good to see you, my friend. I don't understand why people are getting threatened. I don't understand why the father is being attacked so harsh. There's people that have called him a not so nice person towards children. There's so much out there, but there's no proof of most of it. And like I said, guys, I can only talk about their words, the words they've said, the things they've put out there That's all I know. It's their words, their actions. It's them, the parents. I mean, they're the most important people of his life. And yet, to think that one of them, two of them, maybe all three of them did something to this child is heartbreaking. But in my opinion, anything's possible. And so all I can do is sit here and ask you guys, everybody that's here, whether you're in chat or not, put out his flyers. Talk about him. Put him on your Facebook page. Let's stay strong for him. You know, there's people that are so worried and concerned about Seth. And yeah, it's a sad situation. His father has to be hurting. His mom should be hurting. But this is about Sebastian. 100% about Sebastian. The child asked for friends. He has all these friends. Tons and tons and tons of friends now he has. Let's find him. Let's pray that law enforcement will push until somebody breaks. Because somebody, multiple somebodies, possibly know something. We can't just sweep this one under the rug as the perfect crime. We can't allow that to happen. That benefits the person or persons involved. It doesn't benefit Sebastian. We're advocates for Sebastian. Remember that. We are advocates for him. He is the reason we're here talking right now. All of us gathered in here tonight. He's our reason. I'm not here for Katie to hold her hand and walk her through this process. If she needs somebody to talk to, I would talk to her. I would give her my number and she could reach out anytime. And I would have an open heart. I would be honest with her and tell her your actions and your words are the reason that you're being attacked. I would say the same thing to any of the parents. I would be open to them. But I would always let them know I'm here for your son. I'm here to talk about your son. If he left the house to run away, there had to have been a reason. And he had just had a super great day. He should have been tired and exhausted, trying to fight through that exhaustion to get back to that point of being super sleepy. But yet he ran away. And within just a few hours, Chris felt the need to prepare Sebastian, prepare Seth for the fact that he may be dead. It's not all making sense. The dots do not connect. But that's not for me to say and judge. All I can do is say what they said and how I feel about what they said. I'm not a judge. I'm never going to be part of their jury in any way. And it could be one parent, it could be two, it could be all three, or it could be none of them. But when you start going through the events of that night, what is known and what is not known, there's a lot of stuff we are not sure of. There's a lot of things that we don't know if Ellie even has considered. But that's not for us. It's not our place to crucify the parents. All I can say is their words, and their words don't represent grieving parents. Their actions don't represent grieving parents. But just remember, at the end of the day, Sebastian is still missing. And I pray to God that he will lead us, lead law enforcement, lead the private investigators, the searchers, whoever needs to be led to where Sebastian is. I pray that happens so he can be found. He can come home. Whether he comes home and starts in with his schoolwork, or whether he comes home and there's a service to say goodbye, it needs to happen. There needs to be some closure. And that should be our focus. Not hatred, not disgust. Who cares if a creator says something and you don't like that creator? Who cares? It's not a big deal. Let them say whatever they want to say. If it's not true, just forget it. Because it's not going to be those for Sebastian that are worried about what the haters are saying. The ones for Sebastian, truly for Sebastian, are going to be the ones to not even know it got said. So guys, I appreciate everyone that's been here tonight listening. I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings or didn't come across rude. I didn't mean to. I tried to keep up as everybody was coming in, and I know I missed so many. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you guys for the love y'all have for Sebastian. Because that smile makes it all worth it. Pearl Girl, if you don't mind, we'll do something a little later, and then you can for sure. Okay, I promise you, we'll do something just for you and let you take it. Okay. But we've been on here almost 2 hours. So I'm going to get off. And guys, oh, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Brown Eyed Girl. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. It's truly about Sebastian and Summer over here. I can't defend people that I don't know. The people that I can't trust. I can't defend them. But we can have lots of discussions. We can talk through it. And the other night, I said what little I needed to say. And me and the chat sat here and had conversation for a whole nother hour. Because it's you guys that listen that makes this channel work. It's all about you guys as well. It's not just about me. But I do appreciate everybody that came in tonight. Remember, guys, there's a lot of hate out there. There's a lot of drama. But please stay focused on Sebastian. Let's just keep putting out what we know, what we hear, and let's make it clear. This is not a fact, or this is a fact, or this is what was said. Let's make it everything very clear. Hey, Janice, I was wondering where you were. Thanks for coming in, though. But I'm going to end it here with the video for Sebastian. I want y'all to see his face. Watch his face. The smiles, his reactions, his expressions. And just remember, he's worth it. The parents may not be, but he is. So, if you're new, subscribe up, join the chat. If there's ever anything you want to get in touch with me about, that you want to talk about or whatever, send me an email. We'll make it happen. And for now, have a great week tomorrow. Have a good start of your week. Let's keep these babies out there. And there's a reason we've all come together. And let's not forget that reason. So until then, till I see you next. Love and hugs, everybody.
Bye.